First, computers, laptops, tablets, and devices should always be used on a hard surface like a table, not on the couch, not on your lap, not on the bed, not on the floor. Bending over to stare at a screen can result in what's termed text neck and other damage to the spine and posture. So you want the computer to be on a table and the child to be sitting on a chair with their feet touching the floor. You don't want laptops on soft covers of a bed or on the couch cushions because the batteries can heat up. And there have been several reports of fires from overheating batteries of laptops. And that includes my daughter's dear friend. The laptop was charging on the bed and the apartment actually caught on fire. In addition, doctors have published case reports of laptops which are used on the lap directly on the legs, and they have found that there are skin burns known as toasted skin syndrome. Plus, wireless laptops and computers emit two kinds of non-ionizing electromagnetic fields, radio frequency as well as magnetic field EMFs. So scientific research has linked these kinds of EMFs with cancer, impacts to the brain, memory damage, and many other problems, including impacts to reproduction. Many medical doctors recommend reducing this kind of EMF exposure. So you want it away from the body, and if possible, having your device connected with Ethernet cords, not wireless, whenever possible. Children actually absorb more wireless radiation into their bodies proportionate to an adult. Before I go into EMFs, let's go to positioning for a minute. You want the device to be in a position where you can high-five the device, so it's not so close that you bump right into it. So position the monitor about 24 inches from your eyes, about an arm's length. You want the screen to be just below eye level. The Maryland Department of Education issued best practices for digital devices, and they have a poster showing proper positioning. Chromebook manufacturer Dell actually says that laptops were never designed to be safe full-time workstations, and they require changes or modifications to make them ergonomically safer. Because once you raise the monitor to be the correct height, then the keyboard's at an awkward angle. So they recommend an external keyboard along with a mouse. And if you do get another keyboard, especially if your kids are going to be on the computer for a long amount of time, make sure that it's with a wired mouse and a wired keyboard, not Wi-Fi. Your eyes should be looking slightly downward when viewing the middle of the screen, and keep the glare down by adjusting the screen position. Lighting. Do not use a computer in the dark. Always ensure there's a background light when you use a computer. However, the light shouldn't be behind the computer, but to the side, and it shouldn't be excessively bright. And don't use a fluorescent light, especially right near your work desk. Fluorescent lights can leak UV rays. They emit high amounts of blue light, and they contain toxic mercury if they break. Reduce the blue light from all screens. Many health authorities recommend we eliminate blue light as much as possible because blue light has been shown to disrupt sleep. The French Health Authority put out a report in 2019 reviewing the scientific evidence on the health impacts of blue light and found research indicating possible vision loss and damaged sleep from the blue light emitted from LED lights. The report also puts forward that our growing chronic exposure to blue light could lead to an increased risk of age-related macular degeneration. And macular degeneration is the leading cause of severe vision loss in adults over 50. So you can reduce blue light by a couple ways, and I recommend doing more than one of them. So there are programs that you can download that will reduce blue light and flicker at night. You can use a blue light blocker covering for your computers, all your screens. I have on every computer in my home a blue light blocker. You actually can buy some which are 100% blue light blocking, and it's kind of like a hard acrylic screen that you can sit on top of your screen. There also are blue light blocking glasses you can use when working at your computer. One of the problems is that because there is a lack of research that's being done on this field, and we don't have manufacturers or companies actually making safer products, we also don't have a way to compare products which are meant to mitigate blue light. So we really need to work on changing policy so that we can compare and understand if the products which we are purchasing related to blue light are actually protecting us from the blue light. Next, swap out Wi-Fi with Ethernet connections. Many children are doing virtual school with Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is wireless radio frequency radiation. Many scientists consider radio frequency EMFs to be a new form of environmental pollution, and they recommend that children use wired computers rather than Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. This is an Ethernet cord, and I plug this into my computer, and this way the data, the information, everything just goes through the wire and not through my body. And for my kids, they're also set up with Ethernet. If you don't have a way to plug this into your child's computer, you might need to get an adapter like I got. So I have an adapter, you put it in this way, and then this USB port goes into the laptop. Now, depending on what your port is, you buy an Ethernet adapter that matches with your computer. Chromebooks also have this ability. In our district, there's many parents whose kids are on Chromebooks that the district brought, and they use the Ethernet and then they connect it with a special adapter that they got to match the make and model of their Chromebook. And if you don't have that available, you can ask the school system what can be used. If you've been provided a hotspot, if there's any way that you can run an Ethernet off of it, and we would really recommend a 100% Ethernet connection. And also contacting your school district about this issue so that you can get Ethernet connections. I know a lot of companies are donating hardware and software to kids right now, and they really could be setting up a modem in the house that has an Ethernet connection to ensure safety for the school children. When it comes to tech peripherals and accessories, use cords and cables, not Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or wireless. So I'm talking about the printer, the keyboard, the mouse, the speakers, the microphone, the headphones, and the game controllers. A mouse with a cord usually has no wireless radiation emissions. If you have a Wi-Fi printer, have a way to power it completely off. I'm talking about actually unplugging it or having it on a power strip where you can turn the power off, because some of them will emit all the time, even when they're not in use. So we recommend using speakers, not headphones for the kids as much as possible. And if you must use a headphone, use an ear tube headphone, and certainly wired ones, not Bluetooth or wireless. Wherever the computer workstation is, move all the electrical wires and the electrical equipment away from the body of the child. That's really important. And if possible, have the laptop run on battery as much as possible, then charge it during breaks or during lunchtime. For some children, screen time is overstimulating. In fact, any amount of screen time can be overstimulating. Really important to talk to your child's teacher in school and the professionals involved in your child's life about this if that is happening, because some kids need to be on a complete screen fast. So I've talked about all of these things to make screens safer, but it doesn't actually make them completely safe. The most important thing you can do is, when possible, get outside with your child, enjoy the natural world, be with trees, have toys that your child plays with where they can make believe, that they touch and feel, building blocks where they can create things. Clearly, there is a lot of work that needs to be done to make screens safer. And everyone should be able to benefit from safe technology and safer internet connections. Right now, there are many families that won't be able to implement the steps that I've described to you today due to financial reasons, accessibility reasons. They might not even know about it. And that's why we need meaningful policy change around our technology. Manufacturers and companies should be making technology safer so that when we go to the store, we can purchase something that is safe. Please go to our website at Environmental Health Trust, ehtrust.org, to learn more.